Hi, I'm Trevor Conquergood. Welcome to this week's RNK Software Club video of the week, and this week the topic for the video is going to be about finding designs and maybe even how you can customize your workspace to make it just a little bit better for finding and sort of opening up embroidery designs. And so what I really want to talk about is the browser tab, the library tab, and the designs tab. And so if you don't use these, this is how they work. Generally speaking, you use either the library or the browser tab to point somewhere on your computer. So just notice, for example, when I hover over library, there are like locations like Trevor's class designs. I made that. That's something that I obviously customized, but the rest of this, you probably have almost the exact same things, right? Free monthly designs. Click on the little plus. It'll show you all the different months. This, of course, assumes that you've downloaded these designs from the RNK Software Club's website. And so essentially when you download your free monthly designs and you unzip the exe file, it saves them to the specific folder in your computer that is called the library. And now you can click on November and click on November 2020 to see the latest free monthly designs, right? And so I know that when this video comes out, it'll be probably like just the very end of November. We just had the United States Thanksgiving, and so I'll bring in a little turkey design and put it here beside my picture. So the idea is that when you use this browser, or library, you point with one of the top two. So notice, for example, if I click on browser, it shows me like locations of my computer versus library, which it shows me kind of specific folders, a specific place of my computer. And whatever you click on, so if I change it to November 2009, now when I click on the Designs tab, I get the November 2009 designs. And so you can kind of browse through your designs by doing that, 1 month at a time. Just click on here, browse through the designs. And yet, if you click on browser, and you click on a folder in your computer, and so this is one that I've got here that has lots of designs in it, and so now I'm pointing it to a folder, on my computer. And here, let's change the folder and then back again because it didn't seem to pick it up there. And so notice how the designs have changed now, and there are designs that are in that folder, and there's actually lots of them. And so I wanted to point out to you that I like to customize my workspace. And one of the things that I'll do is I'll actually unpin these little tabs. And so I'm going to show you how to do this, but watch what that means. If I grab, when I hover over designs and I'm looking at design results from this folder, which appears to have a lot of embroidery designs in it, it's from the Trevor and Friends Embroidery Club. And so this is like a collection of all the, embroidery designs in one folder, and there's hundreds of them. Well, look what happens. I get to see them kind of like in a little single stripe down the side of the software. And if you found something you really liked and you wanted to bring it on your screen, you already know that you just click and drag to bring it onto your workspace. But what I wanted to show you is when you're hovering over designs, you can move your mouse to the right or the left-hand edge of that box and click and drag. And you kind of have to just imagine as you move your mouse over. But look what I just did. I made the Designs tab 5 designs wide, so that now when I scroll through, I'm seeing all of the designs, and I have a lot more in my results. So if I point this at the library right now, and I click on November 2020 and I click on designs, it'll show me all of the designs kind of more in one large area like that. And so I love to do that. I love to move this little window around to get more or less results. When you click off, when you hover over it, it's a bigger area, but when you click back off, you still have all of your workspace to work with. With that said, I want to talk about the workspace because, of course, you probably know with FTCU that you can customize your workspace, right? And that's really what I just did when I grabbed on the Designs tab and I moved it over here. I customized my workspace. But, a lot of times we And a lot of people have had this happen. I know you've probably experienced it. It happens to me a lot, especially when I'm changing my programs and opening and closing. Sometimes something will happen, like, for example, the slow redraw tool will disappear. And you know, of course, that there's like the tool to turn it on and off, but sometimes it like goes missing from the workspace. I've also had my color palette go missing. And so that means your workspace has become confused. And whenever that happens, there's a very simple solution. You go to your tools bars, drop down menu that's called toolbars. And at the very bottom it says workspace, and you can reset your workspace. So when I reset my workspace, it's going to put everything back to normal again, and it will make sure that, for example, when I go to the Designs tab, that it's just a single wide one. Now, if you try to open up your Designs tab and you try and make it bigger and you can't, it's because by default, when you first install the software, all of this stuff over here is locked. It's not really meant to be edited, and I want to show you that you can edit it and how to edit it, because it's really enjoyable to be able to get, I guess, a different workspace sometimes. And so what I want to also do is just show you, look, if I go to toolbars and workspaces, so not only can I reset my workspace, but I can reset my workspace as one that I've saved. And if you make a workspace that you love, you can save it. So here's Trevor's favorite FTCU workspace. So I changed a few things, right? And I can easily at any time just go toolbars, workspace, reset. That'll put everything back to like where it was originally, or toolbars, workspace, Trevor's favorite FTCU. And you can do this like as many times as you want. But now that I've changed it to, the Trevor's favorites, notice now, for example, that my properties box and my sequence box are side by side like this. And if I even start a new workspace, it'll remain that way. This is Trevor's favorite sort of workspace that I've got set up. And notice that if I hover over the Designs tab, it's by default large. So I kind of like made a nice workspace for my design finding and saved that as well. So you can do a lot of things to customize your workspace. And so, for example, every one of these toolbars has a little dotted line beside see how this green group here has a little dotted line right there, and as I mouse over the dotted line, I get a directional arrow, a multi-directional arrow, and that means I can click and drag, and essentially I can move this toolbar, and you can decide where they go. And you can make, notice when I did that, I got like an extra toolbar row, and so if you want to customize where your tools on your toolbars sit, you can do that too. And all of that can be saved as part of your saved workspace. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, was not only how to reset your workspace, because I think we've all probably come across that at some point in time. And if you haven't learned that, there'll probably become a time when you'll be glad you heard it, right? Toolbars, workspace, and reset your workspace. So go ahead and reset it back, and that'll put everything back to kind of the way it is when you first install it. However, if you want to do what I did over here with the left and the right, and you want to make that happen, then this is how it works. First of all, you'll have to use the preferences. The tool is here. You click on Program Preferences, and there's a tab for View. And on the View tab, about halfway down in the middle of the page, there's an option that's normally checked on that says Lock Property, Sequence View, and Library Windows. But I like to uncheck that. All right. So now that I've unchecked that, that means that I can do things like resize the Designs tab. Another thing that I did was put my properties box beside the sequence view. And so to do that, and this is a little bit tricky, but you'll figure it out. Just remember, you can always reset your workspace. But here's what I do. I put my mouse over top of the word where it says properties on that gray bar. I click and drag to bring the whole properties box off, and I've currently made it a little floating box, right? It sits right on top of my embroidery design. If I want to put it away, like, and make it like a toolbar on the frame of the program, when I click and drag on that properties bar, you might notice some small arrows showing up. And so there's one here in the middle. I could put it there. Or there's one over here on the left. I could put it there. Here, that's above, that would be below. This would be beside on the left. That would be beside on the right. This would be to take up the whole space. And so you can try different ones of these, but notice where I put it was here. And so it comes in properties box with the sequence view beside it. It kind of squished my sequence view a little bit, and so I actually kind of moved my mouse right to the left-hand side of the word properties and clicked and dragged towards the left to move it over some. And then you can move the sequence bar over to kind of like account. See how I got it big enough that I have my, properties box. If we select something, we can easily see our whole properties box. And then yet the sequences is here. And so if you're working on a design and you want to see more of your sequence view, anyway, that's just how I like to set it up. And so those are things that I often do. And then if you do make any changes to your workspace, you simply say toolbars, workspace, and then save the workspace and give it a name, test. And say, okay, you can make as many of them as you want. If you don't like them, you can delete them, right? Just go back under workspaces and say delete workspace. And now I can select that workspace that I just made and delete it if I don't want it any longer. And so you can manage your workspaces. And so it's one of the reasons why I think Floriani is so amazing, is because there's just so many different ways that you can customize your program. Anyway, I wanted you to know about specifically the browser tab. Just as an example, I'm going to browse over a folder that says Lion and then show you the designs, because these are SVG artwork files. And I wanted you to notice that when you use this browser and design tab combination, you get icons. When you choose on the open tab and you look on my desktop for a folder called Lion, and even if I change to, different larger icons, I can't see the images of those lions. Now if I go up and I look on my desktop in the where I have a bunch of embroidery designs, I do see icons here. However, that is not normally the case. In other words, the reason normally you would probably see them as little blue Fs like Floriani. So when you use the open window, this is actually kind of interacting with Windows. And so the only way that the software can iconize these is if you own the program My Design Album. And that's a whole nother way of sorting and organizing your designs. And I love my Design Album. First of all, My Design Album allows Windows to have the ability to show a design, an embroidery design icon. So that is but with My Design Album, I can also use keywords and categories. And so watch some of the videos in the Software Club on My Design Album if you're wanting to learn more about that right now. But just for today, I wanted to point out the difference, because a lot of us don't have My Design Album. And so when we're browsing for designs, we're really just seeing kind of like the little Floriani Fs. And that, yes, when you click on them, you do get a preview of the design, so you can kind of click to see what you're opening. But just so you know, if you learn to use your browser tab and point that at your, embroidery design folder, and now when you click on here, and if you make this nice and big, it's a great way to browse through your folders on your computer to find your designs. And so I wanted to kind of go over that, how you can, another way to browse for designs and another way to customize your workspace. And so once again, remember that you can always use toolbars, workspace, and reset your workspace to kind of put everything back, and that will make sure that all your toolbars are back where they belong. That said, if you move them around and you have a more favorite location for them, then you can use workspace and return to your favorite whatever arrangement you've got. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend if you live in the United States. And I guess if you're from Canada like me, then you probably had your Thanksgiving weeks ago already. But one way or another, happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for listening today. Until next time. Oh, you know what? I want to tell you one more thing today. I almost forgot. There's a contest going on at Floriani right now, and it's the photo play contest. And I did a video on this like 2 weeks ago. So just look backwards 2 weeks and I'll show you how to do the photo play. But essentially, photo play is like a new sort of like embroidery filter for making JPEGs that look like they were embroidered, right? You start with a photograph, run it through a filter, click save as, and you got a cool JPEG. And I've noticed some cool ones starting to show up on Facebook, but I hope everybody's going to participate in this contest. You know, even if you already own FTCU, you could win Thread, you could win stabilizers, you could win other programs like Total Quilter. These are all photo play designs, you guys. You start with a photograph, you take photo play. It's as easy. Entering the contest is as easy as making an image and submitting it on the page. So the page is, oh, now you got me. It's, I'll add it in when I'm finished recording. At this point, I'll add it over the window because I forgot the page address and I don't have it queued up. But what I'm showing you are images that I made with my photographs. That's me and Alex. I photo played her. There's me and Hope. We're having fun at some event. That's Saskatoon. This is sunsets, graveyards. You know, your pets. That's my dog Ryder. That's my kitty Poppy and my family, Lorna and Reese and Nicholas and his girlfriend Tatum and Loren. And so I photo played everybody and I think you'll love it. Anyway, there's some awesome prizes, you guys. And so if you own FTCU, the tool is actually called Photo to Stitches. So let me just clarify that, right? This is the tool right here. And when you click on it, it essentially allows you to click on any image you want to and say open. And so now I'm going to photo play a simple little design. It's very small, and so I better make it bigger because you're not going to get a lot of stitches in a 1-inch photo play. But if I said it was 10 inches, then you would get some, and I could put a little mask over top of that. And so I wasn't planning to show this, but I'll go through it quick. So when I click apply, it kind of updates the information. When I click next, it starts to put the embroidery results together. And so you're getting kind of this 3D embroidery look. It's really cool when you take your photographs. And what you do is you click Save As. Save As is the photo play. That makes the JPEG. If you own FTCU, then you can actually click Finish, and now you've made an embroidery design based on your photograph. And so photo play is all that's required to do the contest. But if you've got the software and you want to, create your own embroidery designs from your own photographs, then you can. And so you'll rewind and watch the video from 2 weeks ago. I kind of went through it. And I'm planning another one to show you guys a little bit more about doing photo to stitches and some kind of helpful tips about, getting great results with when you want to embroider them. But when you want to do them as JPEGs, it's pretty easy. And it doesn't take very long to make one. Submit it to our website and then have a chance to win one of 12 awesome prizes. And the number one prize is FTCU. And I'm telling you, tell all your friends because they can all enter the contest too. If they don't own the Floriani software, just tell them to get Creative Express. That's like the sort of basic free version of it. You've already got it as part of your Floriani software, but just know that everybody can do the photo play contest. And if you do, you'll have a chance to win Total Quilter, the Spectrum thread set with the Floriani Rainbow software. You'll have a chance to win Sketch-A-Stitch. You'll have a chance to win Lettering Master. These are all awesome prizes. My Design Album is prize number 6. Prize number 7 is Thread, the Floriani Creative Thread set. Prize number 8 is the Walter's Family Legacy Bundle, the Floriani Legacy Bundle. Number 9 is one of our new cool thread racks. And number 10 is the new awesome RNK stabilizer rack. Prize number 11 is a beautiful box of stabilizers, the Fabulous Fundamental box. And prize number 12 is the Floriani 12-weight thread set. You guys, that's 12 awesome prizes. I hope everybody takes a moment to enter the contest. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me go on today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.